And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for some more Cosmonarchy, some TvZ. You got 2 minutes to place your bet on whether it will be Shopkeeper Dog winning versus Kenoli, or Kenoli winning versus Shopkeeper Dog. Our Terran player in the bottom right is rocking a really classic color here, I think. This could be mahogany or it could be chestnut. I guess I'll say mahogany. But it was auburn, so I was wrong on both fronts. And in the top left, he is pumpkin Kenoli, of course. Always the pumpkin Zerg. So this is a 4-spawn map. Obviously, you've got these 2 spawns that are unused. We got cross positions here. I think they played a bunch of games on this already, but this trench, of course, is low ground vision in the middle. Like, basically right here in the middle. And so as you pass through it, and vision updates very fast in Cosmo, so you will have to watch out for this one. As you pass right through it, you will lose vision on what's on the other side. So, pretty nifty. It doesn't work 1000% like the original, because obviously our tiles are a little bit different in terms of their customization. We have some Mason scouting happening out here pretty fast, going to top right. We got the 2 bridges out here. Mineral only base on the high grounds. Gas and Ridge over here at the cardinal bases, with a whole bunch of tiles to block dropping in the right spots there. I wonder if you can fix that. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, there are mineral blockers up here on the high ground. I don't know if auto-wandering is going to get them, the same way that we had on a couple of other maps. So that will have to be something that we factor in later. Maybe not. Maybe it won't happen. But we'll be able to see very soon. Pool after hatch. Love Kenoli for that. Stockade into Ministry. Well, that's an interesting little factoid for you guys. I do like a Stockade Expand as an option to have. I've been talking about this a lot as we cast more games. I think if you can flex into earlier Expand with less military and hold, if that becomes the thing in Cosmonarchy, I will be a happy lad. I will be a very happy lad. Apparently Talos can wander, but not Mason. So that's actually really good if that's the case. It might also be like, not every map will be like that, maybe, or not every base on the map will be quite like that, so that's another thing. But good to know. Thank you for the report, Doug. Quaz clean up his scout. Larvosk in the main base was scouted out, as well as the pool. Circuit at the front. So Kenoli looks like he's pretty safe, and he can start powering up with extra larva. Gonna go ahead and put down a Hydrith Den while he adds more workers. Worker maxing right about now. He'll actually be even on workers for a little bit as the Ministry lands and immediately takes off. We got 3 stockades being added behind this, so Shopdog wants to go for a fast scale up for the punish. And those early quads are going to be watching for any move outs and also scouting. I don't think we've actually seen a scout yet from Kenoli, so he's going to go ahead and confirm where his opponent is. I actually really like his build order, though. Like, Kenoli's a player who's been playing a ton of games, and that's when he plays at his best. His mechanics are not very sharp, but when he plays a lot, when he dials in his build order, that really helps him out, I think, in a big way. So the Quaz confirmed that the Shopdog base is down here. He's already got the Ministry up and running. The economics aren't going to be too far in the Zerg's favor because of that, so well done to Shopdog for keeping in relative parity of his alien opponent. Oh, by the way, straight into the ski back, but I should mention, we have the Izira Core graphic coming from Solstice. It's not done yet, but you can see sneak peeks on our Discord server if you want to watch the art of the game develop, the 3D models and such. He's got it rigged, I think, after some topology retopo. Or maybe it isn't rigged yet, I can't remember. But he has it rendered in the game to show like the player color and the textures and stuff, so super cool to see that. It'll make the Zerg look a lot more like Zerg at Tier 1, I tell you that much. Of course, maybe after that he's going to want to do the 10th Zoroark, because then it'll still evolve into a big hulking blade dude, and it'll look really weird, but... Quad Cyprian. Shopdog wants to see if he can put the pressure on with that. Now, I think the way that Kenoli is actually placing his defenses here means that Cyprians would probably line up at the disadvantage. I'm not entirely sure. I also think it's kind of a tricky balance because there's not that much room here that's low ground, I think. It might just be like this is low ground, basically the actual visual brown tiles. There's not that much space that's considered technically low ground there. So we'll have to check that out over time. I guess we're narrowly missing opportunities where we can actually watch like the unit lose vision as it crosses over. If this Quaz comes back, maybe we'll see another opportunity there, but the move out is coming. Gonna go ahead and take his Bactals and add another Kagrant. Yeah, right about now with the Vestry out on back at home for Shopdog, he's not quite going to be in a good spot for scaling up, right? But he is going to have his healing soon. I think he might want to attack before then, though. The Bactals come out to start bouncing on the other side. I love the anchor. That's beautiful. Trying to set up a containment. From my very limited experience watching this in StarCraft 1, ooh, a little bit of a bad unit control there from Dog. But my limited experience watching this in StarCraft 1 so far, it only just replaced some maps on the ladder, I believe. It does feel like this is a situation where containments are really easy to set up. You got the cliff advantage up here for Cosmonarchy, of course. You got these double bridges. So actually breaking out of your natural is going to be a challenge. But let's see if Kenoli is up to the challenge. Cyprian not quite able to get in. Oh, I guess the anchors were full, and that's why. Oh, though, the retaliation is pretty strong. Kills a Bactal. Poor trade for Kenoli. He's got 1,900 minerals, by the way. The classic Kenoli move of banking a ridiculous amount of money. But how is he going to spend it? Assess this for armor. That's going to be really good versus the Bactals. Shaman's on the way as well. If the Shamans get up with the Cestus, the Bactals will have no chance. And you are going to need to see some like ungodly amount of Bactals or just go into Lakes, you know what I mean? Third base on location with a treasury. And a second treasury is being constructed elsewhere. Oh, all the way over here at the 3 o'clock. So Dog definitely comfy behind his containment. This actually feels eerily similar to what Newt was doing to AOT, but minus all of the savants, right? So there was that game on Crisis Vector where AOT looked pretty good. And then, of course, the game on Dyadic Shore where AOT bopped Newt last game. Last night, actually. Last morning. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. I streamed it yesterday. Pulling back the Cestus so he can put down another anchor. The Shamans have arrived. Shamans? Shaman? I don't know. High ground up here for the Bactals to lay siege to any unsuspecting forces that cross the trench. And the Tetzoricors have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Tier 2 is going to be the move here. Yeah, I guess that's what he's doing, right? He's saving a lot of gas by not going Covenant and only making a couple of Shamans and, 6 Cyprians or whatever it was. And now, look at him, right? He's got his Tier 2 coming. He's got his extra bases up. He can go for the Quarry, make the Taloses as he is right now. Now, if I was in Shopdog shoes, and I'm not, I'd make a Ministry here. That's just my feeling, you know? What's up, Lucy? Welcome to the chat. Now, Kenoli did spend down all of his minerals. He is making 9 more Tetzoricors. At some point, he's going to attempt to bust out of this. Not just the Shaman, but the Shawoman. And the Shachildren, too. Man, I didn't think I'd be prequel posting about Cosmonarchy. That, for some reason, that crossover didn't really cross my mind. And, that's coming from the guy that put Bane posting into the game with the Salamander sometimes going... hold on. For you! The cup wasn't empty, so it didn't really sound exactly right, but, I had to drink water anyway, so it was a good excuse. Base number 5 coming up. It's going to be slow to saturate, of course. It's mostly Taluses being produced, but hey, this third base is up and running. Loads of minerals. Chopdog can go for like 20 captaincies somewhere. He's going to expand top right. He's also expanding at 9 o'clock, I think. No, he's just putting some static defense down. Yeah, the fact that he hasn't confirmed scouted what Kenoli is doing, I would be scared of, like, Mass Gorg or something at this point, dude. I'd be really worried about, like, a ridiculous air switch. Well, instead, it's going to be the frontal path. The Tetzoricors are going to do a lot of damage retaliation. Back to this army stack. The Mavericks were not stimmed for a little bit there, and it looks like this will be a crushing blow to the containment. I can't imagine Shopdog getting out of here. with a successful move there. And what's his army? Has he done the unthinkable? Has he done it again, guys? Has he made 30 bases and not made an army? I feel like the answer is yes. And all those Tetzoricors helping out. The Bactylisks are dismounting from their high ground and moving across the map. He's only got Mavericks and Shamans. He doesn't have any tech production coming. Yeah, he's got captaincies, I guess, but... Dude, what the hell? We're actually going to watch Kenoli move across the map and maybe just win. He puts the hatch down at 9 o'clock right in front of the Watchdog. Why not? Some skits, that's their natural counter. You can't walk into the Watchdog. Can't even walk into the Shopdog. Some Cyprians being added. I don't know. Those are not the heavy hitters. You can see Dog is waiting for his add-ons to finish so that he can actually use his captaincies, but I think he needs all hands on deck. This mineral-only base is gone, so we aren't going to see Mass Olympian, I don't think. I say it's gone. Kenoli taking his sweet time to actually finish the job onto these poor Mavericks. There we go. It will indeed be overrun. The Treasury could lift to let the Masons out. In fact, probably should have done that a little bit sooner. Wild scenes. Goodbye, Treasury. Man, this went from Cosmonarchy podcast to holy shit, what's happening? Really, really quickly. Autocrats, Strigas, a starport halfway complete. We saw those Skithricors fly over somewhere. Maybe? Somewhere? I don't see any corpses. Where did they go? They go back to home? Oh yeah, they're still at the rally point. He's just massing up a ridiculous number of them. Look at this. He's shutting down the 3 o'clock base. No! Artaturtle and Arbu's in the chat watching on in horror as we spectate Shopdog's worker massacre. Okay, the one thing I will say is that the Autocrats, if they get a hit on some Skithricors, right? Like, let's see here. Autocrat has 2 armor pen. So if the Striga rends 1 armor of the Skith, the Autocrat can just eat them all up and give them over to Dog. Good opportunity right then and there. Not going to happen. And as the front line starts to get attacked, the Skits start to fly in, and they're going to clear out all the Watchdogs and the Masons inside the main base. And look at that, Kenoli just falls away. So there you go. He should just leave now, while he still can. I'd be very worried about all those bio units. Oh, I guess he's going to try to heckle the bases. Oh, Dog. Well, hold on. This is where I was talking about earlier. Like, you can end up losing a lot of your skits and giving them over to the enemy. Not going to happen. Now, this is the time you make an Ogun. You can mass repair those captaincies for the low price of 150 minerals. Oh. Free Autocrat. Tier 2 completes for our Kenoli. Our Kenolisk. There's the Taluses wandering, as mentioned by Mr. Dog. Lunch break, says AOT. Hell yeah, brother. Why harass the workers when he's made 150? That's a good question. But at this point, he doesn't really have any, right? Like, he's going to lose all these as well. Kenoli has the worker lead. Chase him down. Murder him. Butcher him. Kill him. Devastate him. No, he's not going to quite be able to catch him. I can't. Dog just lackadaisically, like, slapstick humor right here. He's just like, oh yeah, that just happened to my base. I'll start making more Talos over here and mine. Okay. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are having a good day today. This game sure is delivering. We got a big Vanguard of Zerg in the middle of the map. All the treasuries have been knocked out. Back down to 2 bases, Dog, and he's not even mining from one of them. So back down to 1 base is Dog, and we got some Almacs in the house. A lot of money for Kenoli. He's having fun. 12 o'clock being taken. He's got an okay saturation, I guess. Not really, but whatever. We'll tolerate it for now at the 9 o'clock position. Scouts out the complexion of the army, and it is going to collapse upon his 9 o'clock, and he's not really making room to defend it. I think he's, like, aggroed by all of the watchdogs, so he's like, fuck, I got to kill that watchdog. And then all of a sudden, Terran just rocks up on his army. I don't know how Dog is being allowed to do this. Surely, Kenoli just decides to smash the army and finish the game here. This is our deliverance. No? No, I guess not. Only got the 2 autocrats. Hard to pick them out of a lineup sometimes, but they are kind of isolated. Oh, there you go. Random Striga. Well, it's all right. He saturates 12 o'clock. It's like he didn't lose the base in the first place. Looks like he's leading the army here. Do we have any more autocrats coming? Just 1. Shaman's preemptively deploy. Only giving his enemy's army a lot more respect than I think it's due, but maybe I'm the fool. Strigas will rend armor and allow the autocrats to revive a lot of units, so there is that, I guess. Maybe this is probably trauma from a game that Dog talked about where he, like, armor rended some Zarkavra cores and then got, like, 50 of them turned over to him because of the autocrats. Yeah. We're working on that, by the way. That won't be like that forever. Let's select the whole army again, see if we can figure out. No, it's still just the 3 autos. No more on the way. I guess not much money. Dog has got 1 more making. Air stack over here fomenting. Could just knock out the worker count and the ministry with the LMAX, if you're not careful. Doesn't look like a great armor, like a fight over here for Kenoli, but here comes the attack force. And again, there's only the 1 watchdog here. The Masons are going to get shellacked. We are going down to 20 workers at 16 minutes, as Dog would say. And the Zerg army is looking around for where the Terran army is, but they reveal itself at 12 o'clock. By the way, this was never retaken. And Kenoli just decides to move on to the other side. Yeah, why not? Now, 1 problem here. Okay, never mind. No problem. I was going to say, oh, he does get the 1 Droleth. So Shopdog in a base race scenario could reestablish Zerg. He has enough minerals to do so. He is going to get absolutely annihilated, unfortunately. Oh, he's stealing a lot of units, though. The 1 autocrat in the back. It's not going to be enough. Yeah, at that point, it's way too much. Now, the Taluses evacuate. They're not going to be quite caught, so my Zero Cores might do some funny damage to them. Moving across the ramp is an interesting choice, but of course he kind of has to. He doesn't really have too many choices here. Didn't actually make anything with that. Again, he can put down like 2 treasuries or something if he wants to start extending his lifespan. And there's some burrowed drillets here, so I don't think Kenoli is out necessarily. Yeah, they're just going to trade bases, I guess. Sure. Why not? Almax pop out. Kenoli has more money. Oh my god. You must defend these. Yeah, you can see Dog turning around. He knows he needs this. He'll steal the Almac at least. Kenoli burrowing his workers in the corner. He's setting up a hatch there. He's got another room for another one inside the main base. What the fuck? Well, he hasn't rebought this. He hasn't restarted this construction, so I don't think he's going to just spontaneously cancel it or anything, but that's pretty funny. Oh, the Gosbys. Oh, he turned them into Gosbys. That actually makes a lot of sense. Well, he gave over some workers, so... The 1 siren from downtown. All right, now Kenoli's going to mass up his army, which will beat Shopdog's army in a head-to-head fight, if the conditions are right, of course. Last of the tech buildings being destroyed. Dog technically has more workers than Kenoli. Evacuating those 3 workers, though, that'll be big. Big ups. Air stack. Watch out for the air stack, guys. This could be really scary. Kenoli does not want to lose his air stack if he can help it. Only 1 skiff turned over so far, but he does lose 2. He's got a couple more Almacs, though. Like, honestly, his army's really spooky. I'd be very scared if I was in Dog's shoes, but this is not a good fight for it, it feels like. He's going to wrap around, see if he can draw some fire, and maybe go after the... Oh, he's going for the ministry. I don't think that's the right move. The Taluses can repair, and they are. They are repairing. Watch out. The ground army pushing forward. Can he hold? Can Shopkeeper Dog keep his ministry alive? Everything sicked on it, and that should be game. Oh, just at the end. And Shopdog eliminated. Holy shit. What a game.